Hey guys, yogi.jitsu here. Here's a yoga flow which we did straight after jiu-jitsu class. You can do this anytime. It's also good to do as a nice warm down, stretch down, hits a lot of the parts that we need to work after training BJJ. We've got some back bends and some shoulder mobility. So we're starting the class here in child's pose. Breathing in and out through the nose throughout the yoga session. I like to visualize a circular flow of breath coming in through the nose as I breathe in, going down towards the belly, the very base of the belly, and then as I breathe out, it comes back up through the chest and out of the nose. Okay, we're going now into cat-cow. We're going to put our hands beneath the shoulders. Breathe in and then we breathe out. So as we breathe out, we arch the spine, round the spine out like an angry cat. Then we start to breathe in. We drop the belly, tilt the hips, lift the chest and lift the chin, full lungs at the top. Then we exhale. We start to press down evenly through all the fingers and both palms, start to arch the spine and round out the shoulders, fully empty the lungs and then change. So breathing in again, the belly drops down towards the ground, the hips start to tilt, we lift the chest, we lift the chin, full lungs in. Exhale, going back to cat. Inhale, into cow. Great pose to get the spine moving and to activate the cardiovascular system. Really great pose to do first thing in the morning, to wake up your breathing apparatus. The neck is relaxed as you exhale there. So square everything off again, level off the hips. Hands are now underneath the shoulders, going in to thread the needle. We breathe up and stretch it with the right hand, pass it behind the left wrist and take the right shoulder, right ear down towards the mat. The left hand right now is just supporting and the right hand is reaching through. So with the exhale, you can try and reach through. You want to go a step further, you can put your left hand back on the sacrum, the middle of the back. Take a quick check that your hips feel level. If one of your hips is up in the air, bring it back down, nice and level. To go even further, you reach around with the left hand and grab the inside of the right thigh. You can pull on the right thigh, which helps us to go a little bit deeper into the twist. Once you're there, focus on your breathing again. In and out through the nose, sending the breath through the nose down towards the hips. When you exhale, maybe you can reach through a little bit more. Coming out now, we post down with the left hand, back to all fours. Just take a couple of breaths here, squaring everything off. Make sure your hips feel level, your shoulders feel level, and then we do the other side. So breathing in, stretching up with the left hand, breathing out, passing the left hand behind the right wrist. And now the left shoulder, left ear come down to the mat. The right hand just presses down, posts down on the floor. That can help you twist a little bit more. That might be enough for you. Or if you want to go further, you can put the right hand on the sacrum. Check that your hips feel level. To go further still, reach all the way around with that right hand. Grab the left thigh. Go back to your breath. Circular flow of air coming in through the nose, down towards the hips. And as you exhale, coming up from the hips, through the body and back out of the nose. Change. We're going to post down with the right hand. Come back to all fours. Okay, we're getting ready to go into downward dog here. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees are hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Pressing down through all the fingers and both palms. So the knuckles on each finger should be flattened down into the mat. Okay, we start to take the weight into the hands and out of the knees. So lift the knees off the ground. Then you send your hips up to the sky. Next, we're going to push back with the hands so that the biceps are next to the ears. All the time, we're sucking in the belly and sending the hips up to the sky. The head hangs completely relaxed, looking between the feet. Now we're pedaling out the legs left and right, bending alternate knees. You can also shake your tail a little bit, pivoting on the big toes, shaking your tail from side to side. You should really feel that in the lats. Downward dog, full body activator, working every major muscle group in the body. Remember to keep breathing in and out through the nose. Now we're just holding still and starting to work our heels towards the floor. The knees can be straight or slightly bent. Keep breathing steadily in and out through the nose and hold it here. Remember those hands and fingers pressed down into the mat. Now we're looking forward. Between the hands, taking tiny steps forward, walking ourselves forward into a fold. The knees stay slightly bent so that we can get our navel onto the thighs. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your navel to be in contact with the thighs. Going into ragdoll now, grabbing our elbows and hanging loose in ragdoll. Just breathe into this one, okay? Gravity is pulling your head towards the floor, in turn pulling your neck and your spine down towards the ground, decompressing the spine. Just totally relax the head and neck. There's no tension anywhere in the neck. Okay, next we're just going to swing gently from side to side, bobbing up and down, encouraging that spine and neck to decompress. All the time, awareness of the breath, nice, steady, flowing air. Okay, let go of the elbows now. Hands just hang loose on the floor. We're going to start to rebuild the spine. One vertebrae at a time. We start to very, very slowly roll ourselves up, stacking the vertebrae on top of each other. The last thing to come up are the shoulders and finally the chin. And when you do reach the top, just roll the shoulders back a few times. Nice deep breaths here. There we go. Okay. Loosen off the shoulders. We're going to use the belt now to go into some shoulder mobility. So really important for jiu-jitsu guys to keep those shoulders moving. Just going to grab the belt. You should feel where it feels right. Get some tension in the belt. Experiment with the hands wider or closer together. And then we just start to move the arms backward and forward. And you'll notice in certain points it feels tense and you just want to hold it there and breathe into the stretch. If you feel like there's a spot where it's tight, just hang out there for a moment, breathe, and then go back to this circular forwards and backwards motion. Just really try and focus on what's happening in the shoulders. Listen to the body and combine movement with breath. So if you've got tight shoulders, this is a great one to do every day. You need is a belt. It also works with something like a broomstick or a piece of wood or a plastic rod, metal rod. Whatever you can find works just great. Okay, we're about to go into some circular motions now. All the time we're relaxing the face, trying to keep the jaw relaxed. Here come those circular motions. So we take one side up to a vertical and then we go back to a horizontal. Then the other side comes to a vertical, then to the front to a horizontal. And we've got this circular motion going on. Vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Try and make the motion smooth, fluid, flowing, and combining the motion with the breath. Again, you can experiment by moving your hands further apart or closer together. So we do that the opposite way now, going the other direction 4 or 5 times. Once we've been through that motion, we're just going to go back to the first one. Backwards and forwards a few more times. Last chance for us to work into the tight spot wherever we find it. Okay, now you're just going to put your belt down next to your mat or wherever you're practicing. We're going down to the floor and going into plank pose. So hands are underneath the shoulders. Fingers spread slightly apart, and again, we're pressing down evenly through every finger and both palms into the ground. Trying to round out the space here between the shoulder blades. So I'm pushing down my hands and sending that space between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Going up on my toes as well, if you can do that. It's a nice little exercise for the toes. Hold it there, keep breathing, engage the core. Head is looking down at the ground to keep the back of the neck long and extended. And we're going to start lowering ourselves down as slowly as you can with an exhale until we come down on the floor, ready for some back bends. So keep the hands where they are, directly underneath the shoulders. Fingertips should be in line with the front of the shoulders. We're going into cobra pose now. Keep an eye on my knees here. See my toes go flat onto the floor, and I press my toes down so there's a slight air gap underneath my knees. In this pose, we're only using core strength. The arms are just there really to support us. We don't press with the hands. We breathe in and breathe out, and then we stretch our torso up. So we're stretching forwards and stretching upwards. You see that I just removed the hands to show that the hands are just there for support. It's all core and back strength here doing the work. Keep breathing steadily in and out through the nose. Take it as far up and forward as you can and hold it. Then lower yourself down, chin on the floor. We're going to now walk our hands out to the side, about 5 or 6 inches out to the side. It's for seal pose. In seal pose, we totally relax from the waist down. Now we're pressing up with arm strength. So this is like 80-70% arm strength. The rest of it is done by core. Stretching forward, stretching upwards. Breathing deeply, steadily, in and out through the nose. Bring the elbows in and drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Then we breathe again, stretch forward, stretch upwards. And when you come out of this pose, do it on an exhale. And when you come out, go forwards and down. Put your arms by your side. We're going to stretch the neck here by turning the head to the right so the left ear is on the floor. Just relaxing, breathing on the ground. Relax everything, no tension in the face, neck, chest, legs. Totally sink down into the floor. Okay, coming back to the center now. For our next back bend, it's going to be a diagonal back bend. And for these 3 poses, keep your forehead on the ground. Forehead is pressed to the floor to support the neck. So, forehead on the ground. We start to lift the left leg and right arm. Stretch back with the leg, stretch forward with the arm, and lift them both up. Forehead stays on the ground the whole time. Stretch forward, stretch backwards, stretch upwards. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Change. Slowly lower down, ready to switch sides. Let's go. Right leg, left arm. Stretching forward, stretching backward, stretching upward. Deep, steady breaths. Hold it. Change. Hands slowly come down. This time, both legs, both arms. Let's go. Stretch forward, stretch backward. Head pressed down on the floor. It's like someone's pulling your hands in one direction, pulling your feet in the other direction. Hold it. Keep breathing. Change. Lower down and turn your head to the left. Stretching the head and stretching the neck, on the other side. Okay, just relax. Down into the floor. Think about the breathing. Steady breaths. Coming to the center now with your head. We're getting ready to move into Dhanurasana, bow pose. So bend up your knees and try and reach back and grab your feet from the outside. Grabbing around just below the toes on the knuckles. If you have a hard time reaching your feet, you can use your belt. So you want to wrap the belt around your feet. As we can see here. Just prepare to go in the pose. Keep breathing steadily. Relax the body. So Dhanurasana is my favorite pose for jiu-jitsu. It's the opposite to the hunched up position we usually have. Okay, here we go. We breathe in, we breathe out, and then we kick. Kick back with the legs. Lift the torso. Kicking backward, lifting forward. Looking upwards, breathing steadily in and out through the nose. Relax the shoulders so the shoulders can roll back. Hold it. Change. Slowly lower yourself down. Turn your head to the side. Stretching the neck. So you should be facing right. Just relax, catch your breath. We're going to do this one more time. So preparing to go back into bow, come back to the center, bend up your knees, grab your feet from the outside. Keep the legs parallel. The knees stay hip width apart. If you feel the legs coming out to the side, pull them back in. Let's go. Start to kick back with the legs and lift the torso. Nice, deep, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Kicking back, lifting up. Kicking back and lifting up. Take it as far as you can and hold it. Change very slowly, lower down. And turn your head to the side, stretching your neck the opposite way. Breathe, relax, sink down into the floor. Okay, next is camel. We're going to come up onto our knees. Stay kind of standing up like this on your knees for the duration. Put your hands on the lower back. First, we do a little check on the back strength. So I kind of put my hands on the back, on the lower back there for support. This is how we go in. We lean back, and we're going to put my hands on the heels. And we come out by taking the hands from the heels on the lower back and come upright. So first thing to do is to check that you can lean back and come out safely. If you can't do that, if it's painful, then you can always do another round of bow pose, the previous pose. This is a very intense stretch. Here we go. We're leaning back. One hand comes down on the heel. The other hand comes down on the heel. Then I start to press forward through my waistline. My head leans back. My shoulders roll back. I'm opening the chest. Imagine the center buckle of kind of your belt pushing forward from there. Nice, deep, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Keep pressing those hips forward. Whenever you need to, you can come out. If you're still there, get ready. We're moving out. One hand comes off the heel, the other hand. Push yourself up and drop down onto all fours. Just going to roll over now into Shavasana. Laying flat on our back with our palms open towards the ceiling. The heels touch together and the toes just drop out towards the side. Relax totally down into the floor. Nothing to do here besides just lay still and breathe. So it's normal to feel a little bit dizzy after these back bends. The last one especially is very intense. Okay, take a few breaths in Shavasana and then we're going to sit up. We're going to do some forward bends now. Start by placing the sole of your right foot on the left thigh. We're going to bend the left knee slightly. I'm going to use our belt here, which we'll put around the ball of the foot. Okay, if you don't have a belt, you can inhale and stretch up. Then you exhale and grab with your hands, which rounds the shoulders a little bit. Because I'm trying to focus a little on shoulder mobility right here, we're using a belt. So we're trying to get the belly to touch the thigh. The navel should touch the thigh. So bend your knee as much as you need to get the belly on the thigh. It doesn't matter if your knee seems totally bent up towards the ceiling. We're going to then use the breath. As we breathe in, we make the spine long. So I'm just explaining here that it's not about the head to the knee, which rounds out the spine. We want to keep a straight spine. So I'm breathing in, making my spine long, extending forwards. And as I breathe out, I fold down so that my navel touches the thigh. Then on my next breath, I breathe in and lengthen, extend the legs slightly, straighten the knee, make a gap between the navel and the thigh, and then exhale, fold down, reconnect navel with thigh. All the time using the breath to go deeper into the stretch. So just explaining to one of my students there that bend the knee more. And over time, little by little, you straighten the knee. So final expression would be to get the navel to touch the thigh, then your chest goes down towards the knee, then your upper chest would touch the shin, and your head would touch somewhere around the ankle or foot. Okay, we're going to change now. Pick up the right foot and place it outside the left knee for a spine twist. Check your hip bones are on the floor. If both your hip bones are on the floor, then you're good. If one of your hip bones is up, then you have to pick up the foot and place it on the inside so that hip sits down on the floor as well. As long as your hips are on the ground, we go further. Going to post down with the right hand, keeping the spine super straight with the right hand. Next, we're going to take a breath in and we're going to stretch up with our left hand into the air, lengthen the spine up towards the ceiling. Then we exhale, start to twist to the right and hook the left elbow around the right knee. Now we take 3 breaths going deeper into the twist. We start to inhale, lengthen up, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen up, exhale, push the elbow into the knee, twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, twist on the exhale and hold it. And then slowly unwind back to the center, switch legs. This time, right leg stretched out, slight bend in the right knee. Sole of the left foot goes onto the right thigh. We're going to use the belt placed around the ball of the foot. So again, bend the right knee as much as you need to get contact between the navel and the thigh. Just explaining here about how we want to keep the shoulders back, not trying to hunch the shoulders forward. That's why we're using the strap. So folding down, navel on the thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine, create space. Exhale, fold down and go into the space you just created. All the time, deep, steady breaths through the nose, sending the breath down the nose into the right hip. Breathing out, the air's coming out from that right leg, from that right hip, up through the body and out of the nose. Using the breath each time to go a little deeper, maybe making the right leg a little straighter. try and relax your face, relax your forehead. If you notice you're grinding your teeth or something like that, then just relax, back off a little. Okay, going back into the twist, picking up the left foot, placing it over the knee. Remember to check that both your hip bones are on the floor. If not, the foot can go on the inside of the knee. This time, left hand post at the base of the spine. The left hand keeps the spine super straight. Inhale, stretch up with the right hand. Exhale, twist round to the left. Hook the right elbow onto that knee. Now we go into the breath. Breathing in, lengthening up. Breathing out, twisting round to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist round. This time, even the head, the neck, and the eyes in the eye socket should look round to the left. Stretch everything round in that direction. Hold it, and then change. Slowly unravel into seated position. Now both legs stretched out in front. Big toes touch, knees touch, spine super straight. The knees are bent here. Again, we're trying to get the belly to touch the thighs. It's not about getting the head close to the shins or head close to the knees. Keep the shoulders rolled back. Keep the elbows in nice and tight. Tension through the belt. Working with the breath again. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to fold down. Nice, deep, steady breaths through the nose. 4 or 5 seconds to inhale. 4 or 5 seconds to exhale. You get as deep as you can. Just try and relax. Let go. Surrender down into the pose. Slowly change. Okay, the belt can go off to the side now. Going to bring the soles of the feet together. Heels close to the hips. Spine is nice and straight. Doesn't matter if your feet go a little bit further away and more of a diamond shape. Just get them as close to your hips as you can. So, spine nice and straight. Suck in the belly, and then we use our thumbs to open the soles of the feet like a book. Rotating the hips out, down towards the ground. Next, we can press with our elbows into the thighs. Try to work those knees, rotating the hips down towards the floor. Again, steady breathing through the nose into the hips. No tension in the shoulders, no tension in the jaw, eyes, forehead. Change. Bring those knees together. Straighten the legs. And we're going to take it down to the floor now. So laying flat on the back. Going to bring the knees in and send our feet up towards the sky for happy baby. You can grab the big toes here, or you can reach through, round, and grab the outside edges of the feet. The ankles should be directly above the knees. And now we start to pull with the hands, pulling the knees in towards the shoulder. The head should be on the floor here. Head on the ground with the chin in towards the chest, which stretches out the back of the neck. Keep pulling with the hands. Keep breathing steadily in and out through the nose. If you find it hard to get your head on the floor, you can use a pillow, a yoga block, a cushion, something like that. Think about the base of your spine now. Think about trying to get the tailbone down towards the mat. So the very base of the spine, we're trying to flatten it towards the floor. Change. Okay, we're going to let go of the feet now. Just take a moment lying flat on your back with your legs outstretched. Then bend up the knees and put the feet flat on the floor. With your fingertips, just touch the heels to check that your heels are in the right place. Kind of a distance check. Palms now go flat on the ground, and we start to lift our hips off the ground for bridge. Okay, you got to relax the glutes, relax the hamstrings. You can interlock the hands underneath the hips and curl the shoulders under to get more height. Breathe in through the nose and send the breath down towards the feet. Relax the glutes, relax the hamstrings. All the work's being done on the top half of the body, in the core and in the thighs. You can come out of this whenever you want or slowly lower down now. Catch a few breaths here before we go into another pose. Supta Matsyendrasana. It's a supine spine twist. Bend up the right knee and put the right big toe behind the left kneecap. Left hand reaches up and grabs the right knee. We roll over to the left. Right hand goes palm down, shoulder height. Look at the right hand. Palm down, shoulder height. And then gently press with your left hand into the left knee. Totally relax down into the floor. Just a little bit of tension through that hand into the knee. It's nice to close the eyes here. Totally relax. Just focus on the breathing, steady breaths. Great pose to do after training. Slows down the heart rate, calms down the nervous system, stops you from sweating so much.
And pick up the left foot.
Just now we're going to change. Let go of that leg. Straighten out both legs. Switch side. This time, left foot goes behind right knee.
Roll to the
Right hand grabs left knee and we roll to the right. The left hand is going to go palm down, shoulder height. And we turn to look at the left hand.
Look towards the left hand.
Then we put a little bit of pressure with the right hand through the left knee. Go back to your breath. Try and relax everything down into the floor. As I said before, it's good to keep the eyes closed. Just think about the breath. Breathing in through the nose. Sending the breath down towards the legs as you inhale, and as you exhale, the breath comes back up through the body and out of the nose.
And now I want you to close your eyes and just lay flat on the back. Both legs stretched out.
Let go of that leg. Straighten out both legs in front of us
Dead body pose.
for Shavasana.
So just lay totally still.
Okay, the heels can touch again and the feet can drop out to the side.
Focus on the breath. Everything
or you can put your feet wider apart. Just be comfortable. Palms open towards the ceiling.
Scratch your nose.
Just focus on the breath now.
Whatever.
Try and keep the mind clear in Shavasana. If you notice that you start thinking about something, what you have to do when you get home, or what happened today at work, or whatever it might be, just let go of that thought and go back to the breath. We're going to spend a minute or two just laying still in Shavasana, just keeping awareness to the breath and relaxing the body down into the floor.
Stay with the breath a moment longer. We start to wake up the body by wiggling our toes. Wiggle the fingers.
Bring some awareness back to the body now.
Keep your eyes closed for a little
wiggling
longer.
the toes, wiggling the fingers.
Bend up both knees.
Going back to more normal breathing, however that might feel. Bend up your knees now, sole of the feet flat on the ground. And just roll over to your left side, curl up in a ball, finish in a fetal position.
Go back to normal breathing.
This is the end of the session. Of course, you can stay longer in Shavasana if you like.
Slowly.
You can spend as much time laying here as you like. Or you can base down with your hand and come up to seated. So that's where we finish the class, guys. Nice little stretch down after training.
So,
hope you all enjoyed that.
Yoga, bring our hands to prayer, and we say
Namaste.
Namaste. Okay, guys.